Good morning, everyone. I have a message of the day, union read, and twin flame read. So we're going to get to it quickly today. I will probably start doing the astrological signs today. I'm thinking about putting them on a Patreon channel, so we'll see how that goes. Let's go ahead first and take a deep breath. Another deep breath. And one more deep breath. Sending lots of love and blessings. I hope you're having a beautiful sunny day. And thank you so much for being here with me today. All right, we're going to get right into the message of the day. I'm going to show you the pictures. Let's roll the die first for the twin flames. Twin flames, number 2, which is the high priestess, the divine feminine energy. We have the sun here, which it is a beautiful sunny day. And lots of storms. We had tornado and flood and all that kind of stuff warnings yesterday. So now it's a beautiful day. This is Capricorn energy. So we have Capricorn, Leo, and the sun. And then the number 2, the high priestess, which is also for me, Pisces. And yeah, it's an interesting mix. So, and Leo is a fixed sign, Capricorn is cardinal, and then we have Pisces, which is mutable. So we have all 3 of that balanced. Let's see where that takes us. I just had a clearing just that moment. Okay, the message of the day and the pictures. I will post the basic picture of the read in front of you because I just have the full read picture here for you. This is the union read. 4D, 5D, 6D, feminine on the left, masculine on the right, bridge between them in between. The incoming feminine, the outgoing divine masculine, the underlying energies and the closing energies, the Syrian starseed deck. And then here's the message of the day. There's 4 decks in each pile, so I expanded that for you as well. The message of the day. And then here's the read in front of you, all 7 decks. It is a general reading, so don't force every message to fit. The 7 decks, for those of you not familiar with my reads, is the Syrian starseed deck as the main deck. We have the Romance Angels numerology deck, the Tarot of Sexual Magic, the Gilded Tarot, the Universal Golden Tarot, and the Rider-Waite Mini. So 7 decks overall. And again, there's a lot of energy on the table, so don't try to force every message to fit. This is for your discernment to choose what feels right to you, what's resonating with you, what messages are actually for you. If you want something more specific to you, my information's below if you want a personal session. Also on my website, twinflames3344.com. And I have a CD out there also which could help you out with your energies, which is called Ashes, Twin Towers to Twin Flames. It is my music, it's voice and piano. And you might want to check that out. It's on iTunes, Amazon, Google Play, and CD Baby. And let's get going with this here. If you want to donate, there's also a donate button below in the description. And here is the message of the day. Okay, so we have, that was done at 10:49 through 52 last night. 10 is the Wheel of Fortune, 49 is the 9 of Cups, the Get Your Wish card, 52 is the Queen of Swords. We had the Cheetah, the Sun, the Family Room, and the Page of Swords. So the Cheetah can also be a cheater, but in this deck, the Cheetah is very much mesmerized or hypnotized by something, or just very focused on something. They could be paralyzed by their passions, perhaps caught in a web, with exposing poles polarization, or the North and South Pole could be coming up regarding the dark energies and the masks, all about the empty house and the privileged lady being courted, perhaps, in a message or for a child from the King of Cups, who's loving, but perhaps an absent father. And that doesn't, they could be still together, but maybe they're at work all the time, that kind of energy coming up, where the father's there, but they're actually putting more energy into everyone else in the world as opposed to their own child. The first pile came up as the moth, the rider, the wealthy man, and the 10 of Wands reversed. Like a moth to the flame, the rider of the rainbow through the 4D to the wealthy man, dumping a load, their burdens, or all their responsibilities, or hurting themselves. The magician and the death card, manifesting transition on a new mission. And there's Aries energy definitely coming up there. The second pile was about the hawk, the breakthrough, the community, and the 6 of Wands. And by the way, the hawk and the breakthrough cards from different decks are very much the same energy. It's about clearing the way of the lower chakra energies in a breakthrough, like getting through the clouds into the sun. And the community and the 6 of Wands reversed. So clearing the way in flight, breaking through the barriers in the dark clouds to 3 birds in the sun, man, woman, and child, or opening a hotel, a bar, or a restaurant under the radar or under the table, or in need of advertising or order, or something was not how it was advertised, and in need of some TLC, attention, or good reputation on the ocean, perhaps. And Leo energy was coming up there. The third pile was the dragonfly, the maze, the message, and justice reversed. The master of light and illusion, the pulsating heart, through the labyrinth of the mind with a message of injustice, with no truth and no balance, and Libra was coming up there. The fourth pile was the mouse, the child, the house, and the star reversed. Quiet as a mouse, a child in the house, depressed, in need of hope, or is being kept quiet, or must keep quiet for their own safety, and Aquarius was coming up there. The fifth pile was the nightingale, the magnifying glass, the unexpected income, and 2 of Pentacles upright. Perhaps singing or speaking your truth to purify around the world, looking closer at the details of how much it will cost you, and that doesn't have to just to do with money, but money, time, and effort, and how much it will cost you as far as in your life and your feelings and emotions and spirituality, and in performing and perhaps getting to a ship. Grounding, integrating, and mastering new passion with transition and judgment here. The 6th pile is the dolphin, time, the boy, and the 10 of Pentacles reversed. The dolphin with their chin up, very happy and friendly with so much compassion due to the fact that their little boy has gone through it already and perhaps had experienced being orphaned himself. The dolphin with time on their hands, but the orphan still lost without their family, or they're just a poor lost boy. The seventh group here is the eagle, the ship, change, and the moon reversed, where the eagle has landed in a successful mission, one right after the other, keep coming, but then suddenly a change happens, in a deception perhaps, or execution of innocent people pulled out of their homes. And Cancer reversed was coming up there, which makes sense because that's very much Cancer energy about being taken out of your home. And the Sudan came up, and also Waverly, which was a road I was very familiar with growing up. Waverly also came up. And then at 1144, which is justice, truth, and balance, and the 44 of the 4 of Cups, grounding, integrating, and mastering of love. For some, that can be boredom and apathy. The 8th group was the horse, which is Mr. Ed, the moon, false person, and the 2 of Cups upright. Mr. Ed picking the right time or point with false couple or undercover team in connection, a deep connection. Mr. Ed and Cancer female perhaps, but this can be a male as well, or Sagittarius and Cancer teaming up in a sticky situation, journey of manifestation and being strong. The 9th group here was the fire ant, the puppy, the high honors, and the Ace of Cups. Under attack, in prison, or fight. Many wounded, and puppy still has another take the lead for them. So in other words, They keep connecting with energy that's not good for them, that does things for them that they're uncomfortable with, and yet they still keep allowing that energy to take the lead in their life, as opposed to them taking the lead for themselves. And Aries was coming up here. Giving honor to another as opposed to loving self first. Supporting another's cause out of love for them, belief in them, but where is that belief in yourself? The moon and the Knight of Wands coming up here, again, Cancer and Sagittarius, whether friends or lovers. The 10th group here is the Stingray, the Letter, Toil and Labor, and the Four of Swords. Fully activated or plugged in with a letter, document, or communication of toil and labor, or perhaps slave labor, and a need to focus on the heart and take a rest, a break, or 5D connect. Dumping a load, burdens, responsibilities under the radar, injustice and depression and loss of hope, juggling the rainbow, trying to keep their balls up in the air, with the 10 of Pentacles reversed, family, business, or community, with dysfunction or loss and or deception, connecting, offering love, and taking a rest or a break. The Panther is on the chopping block with Power Man and petty annoyances. The journey must go. Concern about lovers, standing up for those of affection. The Knight of Swords reversed, holding their tongue in an inequitable situation, scam, or just a situation where others are not sharing or not taking their equal weight of the load. And this ended at 12:21. There was your message of the day. We're going into now the union read. And today is the 2nd of September, 2021. So today the energy is the 2 of the High Priestess and the 16 of the Tower. The Tower can also be epiphanies. It can be sexual energy, explosions, sudden events. You know, blowing your top, blowing your crown, blowing your cover, blowing your mind. So all of those different energies come up with the Tower. So it doesn't have to be a negative event. It can just as much be a positive event, a sudden surprise that's really wonderful, but kind of blows your mind, right? So I was just getting Ginger from Gilligan's Islands. I wanna be loved by you, and nobody else but you. So that's coming up. I wanna be loved by you alone. Boop, boop, be doo. So that's coming up. And the union read was done at 4:44, which is very angelic realms energy. 45D60 for the 2nd today. The King of Swords was the underlying energy. The reflection of the Hermit was in the middle. And the final energy was the 7 of Wands, or that Christ vibration, standing up for oneself without getting triggered. The King of Swords being clean, chaste, and pure at day on top of the steps in front, reflecting the Hermit's inner world of light at night at the bottom of the steps out back, with rod and staff rising from drama, with flame in hand, standing up to others with what you wear and how you dance, granting wishes or belly dancing for grant, ready to tango with partner in crime, stealing away into the night, Steely Dan and Gladys Night, or Glad It's Night. And then there was a tornado warning, 5:16 or 5:15 to 16 there, the Devil and the Tower. The tornado warning at 5:45, was through 5:45. And it got really dark outside and, heavy showers. It wasn't like thunder and lightning, but it got really dark. The incoming divine feminine here is the Page of Wands, Luna or the Moon, and the 10 of Pentacles. Masks galore, and masks have been coming up like crazy yesterday and today, all sorts of masks. Masks galore of feminine lions giving their flame away. The mothers worshiping sons or giving them their flame. And remember there's symbolism that came through for me a couple years ago, even, I think it was, where the feminine is born with the golden coin energy and the pink energy, whereas the masculine's born with the golden coin and the green energy. When the feminine gives birth, she gives away her gold coin, and then her energy becomes silver, because she gives her gold coin to her children because they are dependent on her, literally. So she gives it away. So she doesn't gain back her gold coin again until she finds her independence again after her children. So and Spirit's connecting with me. And there's this energy here of mother worshiping sons, right? They're not little anymore. They're grown sons. Again, giving their flame away still, even though they're grown up and they shouldn't be dependent on them anymore. It was coming up as the penis on fire, which can be an infection, but also the energy of the son expecting to be idolized, which of course isn't good for relationships. So if the mother idolizes the son's going to expect to be idolized by their partner. There also could be flare-ups, right? This could be swelling or old injuries coming up. Again, the swelling causes burning. Middle Eastern and Indian cultures coming up for review, and the lunacy of the night. And I was just getting Whitney Houston again, right? Because she's the queen of the night in The Bodyguard. Tidal waves and tornadoes, and the masked boy in the moon. So as opposed to the man in the moon or the boy in the moon, it's the masked boy in the moon. Coming down off of their high horse, sliding into home with peaches or quote unquote red, that could be somebody's nickname, ferns and foster, and the garden of prayer, peacock, and lots of big crystals. And crystal light was just coming up there as well. The King of Swords putting their mask on, even though Mom begged him not to when he came home. The King of Swords inspired to release in rising tides before coming into home base. The 4D here is the Ace of Cups, the Knight of Cups, and the Four of Wands. The Divine Feminine exuding with love in aqua waters, overflowing with emotion and tears of joy perhaps at 535, the Hierophant and the Wounded Warrior of the Nine of Wands. Catapulted up from the deep cleared waters. The Divine Masculine's home is his castle with multiple towers and a drawbridge as well over the waters. So it's like a drawbridge as a well over the waters. So it's kind of like a well, the drawbridge over the water, except it's open to be cleared, with welcoming entrance of roses, red and white. And then I was getting under the boardwalk, so that was coming up, or Castle Rock, a fortress of safety measures and weights to get in. Clearance factors here. Red Dawn, sailors be warned. Bridging with the Knight of Cups in a tidal wave of emotion over coffee, swimming freestyle, and swallowed by a sword shark. Or Edward Scissorhands, all hands and scary as hell when trying to be loving, right? So if you're trying to hug Edward Scissorhands, it wouldn't feel very good, would it? Infinity pool by the ocean. 5D here is the Two of Cups reflection on the King of Wands, the Divine Feminine Two of Cups in the Garden of Eden or E's Den, under the bridge without water, only 2 cups face to face at 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, jump. The Divine Masculine King of Wands shaman with the sun at his beck and call with stone pillar for support. And I was just getting fort support as well. So again, creating a fort, which is a block, it's not a good feeling. It's very cold. It's like, again, the Edward Scissorhands is not fun to hug them because they're cold. They've built this strong wall that nobody can get past, including knives and swords and walls and moats and bridges. So we have the 5, 4, 3. So counting backwards of the 3D, 4D, 5D. The Native American or that 70s show, the headband and the tablecloth, and all good to go. Bridging with reflection, shedding light on the Two of Cups and love, the Divine Feminine with big love for her children, and the Divine Masculine for his stability and his home with the King of Wands, perhaps. Or that may be him. There may be an old man between them. The 6D here is alchemy, justice, and the Ace of Flames. The Divine Feminine blending peaches and apricots and kernels. Transmuting, transforming, and transcending the Divine Masculine Ace of Wands. A big flame for his one and only, excited and inspired by the Divine Feminine's higher love. Bridging with divine justice, feeling way and weight of balance in portal but without eyes, trying to surprise someone. You know, may not be that easy in a relationship like ours. Oh, and by the way, when I couldn't speak yesterday, I came across Mercury changed into Libra on the 30th, which is probably why it messed me up, because I'm Virgo, which is Mercury, and my Mercury's in Libra. So Libra doesn't articulate as well as Virgo. Unfortunately, I'm Virgo, but I don't have Virgo in my Mercury, so I don't speak very well. It's hard for me to connect my thoughts with my mouth. They're not timed properly. Mercury's in Libra through September 27th, and also poetry comes up with that. So instead of trying to speak literally, it may be easier for you to speak in rhyme. Also, Venus is in Scorpio until the 11th, Jupiter in Aquarius until December 30th, Saturn in Aquarius until October 11th, where it goes direct, still in Aquarius, and then Mars in Virgo until the 16th, in case you're wondering. And remember that Sam the Illusionist had said we're getting some clearing done, or decisions on whether or not you want to upgrade the right side of your brain. For a month, September 20th was supposed to be the deadline date of upgrades to the right brain, or to ascend, to use your intuitive brain much more over your mental brain. So we have the outgoing divine masculine here with the Queen of Cups, the Ten of Cups, and the Queen of Pentacles. Boobalicious is coming up here, luxury, in the falls of Niagara or Viagra, with rainbow support level and pyramiding to the flyer, exuding the rays, finding emotional fulfillment between the Queen of Cups and the Queen of Pentacles, and rising over the group and drama, standing up for self to tango with the Middle East with flame in hand. Two woe man band. So the woman, the woe and the man band. Or the divine masculine dealing with three females, water, earth, and firewalker. The King of Wands on fire with 4D home and 6D manifesting flame and inspiration. The divine feminine has the Ten of Pentacles on her side, the masculine with the Ten of Cups on his, again the Montagues and the Capulets. The divine feminine with an outpouring of love for the Two of Cups in a one-to-one alchemy of a higher love. The divine masculine with home union, or the King of Wands shaman with flame, and bridging the Knight of Cups proposal, gushing with the Hermit's reflection of divine justice here. The divine feminine with Cancer and Sagittarius, the King of Swords and the Page of Wands, the divine masculine with no major arcana, and the King of Wands, Queen of Cups, and Queen of Pentacles on their side. Between the masculine and feminine is an offer of love between Virgo and Libra, which can mean at the midpoint between Virgo and Libra, because that is the middle of the astrological flow, the midpoint. The Seeker of Lunten, which means Lumi, or part of illumination, which Lumi means snow, people, world, humanity, to shine, moss, room, fire, and lemons, as well as the world, slut, and hussy. And again, Boobalicious was coming up here, so there's definitely that energy. So on the feminine side is that Seeker of Lunten. And the masculine, the Sage of C10, C-T-E-N, which means comb. And the honeycomb is coming up here, of 10 of CHS, or sweet family, and wise with crystals. Or clearing an office for high vibe office, so redoing an office. And CHS is the abbreviation for chapters, which came up in another definition as well. The age of purging, of being like Christ, or in other words, being in unity consciousness. The overall energy here was the 35 of the Nine of Wands, the Wounded Warrior. And the horizontal pillars, 8, 2, and 25. Strength, the High Priestess, and the Knight of Wands. The vertical pillars were 10, the Wheel of Fortune, 3, the Empress, 5, the Hierophant, 10, the Wheel of Fortune again, and then 7 of the Chariot. So the message is coming up as the dance of the High Priestess, the Knight of Wands, and the Wounded Warrior, or manifesting psychic abilities of the Knight of Wands and the Wounded Warrior, very fiery. The secret dance of the Knight of Wands and the Wounded Warrior, or Leo and Sag and Pisces here. And by the way, this was at 6:20, which is the Lovers and Judgment. The wounded warrior in the chariot, destined Empress and Hierophant, which is a lot of Taurus energy, in high vibe chariot with the wounded warrior. Libra Taurus and Libra Cancer coming up here. And the wounded warrior fire sign, Leo, Sag, or Aries. There's 2 kings, 2 queens, 1 knight and 1 page. The Ace of Cups and the Ace of Wands. She with love and higher love. He with stability and inspiration. So again, a lot of Libra type people may be coming up because Mercury's in Libra right now. So communication is coming off as Libra. And let's see here. Going into the read now for the twin flames. And by the way, the new moon comes up on the 7th, and actually the 7th adds up to 21, which is completion, the 21 of the world. So there may definitely be a completion point there with the new moon on the 7th. I'm pretty sure that's a new moon, not a full moon. All right, so this read in front of you is cut and dealt, the Syrian Starseed deck at 632, the Lovers and the Journey of that 6 of Wands, the journeyman coming in with the good news after the war, getting lots of attention and followers and leading the way. And then at 635, again, the wounded warrior with 35, F chalices came up. It can be you saying F chalices, but also F is the phi energy of expansion and contraction, or staying in the middle in reflection of chalices, which has to do with heart and emotions. I completed the clarifications at 651, which is the Lovers and the King of Swords, but that's also the way the King of Swords would be written as 51/6, because it is a 6. We have the major arcana in this read of the Tower and Reflection. Let me clarify the picture for you. So we have the Tower and Reflection. And then after the read, Luna or the Moon came up. By the way, Reflection's the Hermit. Luna is the Moon. Alchemy is the Temperance card. Justice and Karma also came up after the read. Karma is Judgment. We had 4 Wands, 2 Pentacles, 2 Cups, and 1 Sword. So mostly Wands energy here. So a lot of passion and movement, physical movement. The Queen of Wands and the Knight of Wands are the main players in the read, and the Page of Wands came up after the read. So all Wands energy, the Page, Knight, and Queen. The King is not there. So why is the King of Wands missing? We had 22, 33, and 55, and 10, 10 in a lesser sense. 22 and 55 are the most significant here of the Fool and the Ace of Swords, Excalibur. The 33 of the Christ vibration, that's that 7 of Wands, and the 10, 10 of that very high vibration to remind you to keep your vibration high and always come back with phi energy to center point again. Number 8 was significant here of the dance between the masculine and feminine, the inner and outer strength, the manifestation of dreams. Also the 23 of the King of Wands, which was missing from the Page, Knight, and Queen of Wands, and the 56 of the 2 of Swords. 35 of the Wounded Warrior, 67 of the Knight of Pentacles, 78 of the 10 of Pentacles, and 810, which is 0 behind 81, which for me, from the Divine Triangle numerology book, is the end of karma around the world. So for me, 81 is worldwide end of karma, and then the 24 comes up as the end, is Omega, the end of the Greek alphabet, also has come up as the end of karma in a lesser sense, like in a community sense. We have the code line. Let's see what other numbers came up that I missed. 45 is also significant here. And 510, which is the 51 of the King of Swords, with 0 backing it up. 45 is the grief card. The letting go. So the code line was all about health and physical activity, which was broken up into he-elth, or heal, and th, so heal to the nth degree. And then physical activity was phys and I-cow. It's like fizzies cause a lot of calories. And then active activities, and being active and then being grateful for it. So being active and grateful for the physical activity and good health. So again, good health being very significant. It could be energy coming up regarding working in the health fields as well. The code line was the number 5, coming from 3 and 2, which is the Empress and the High Priestess, the 5 being the Hierophant, but also freedom, change, and expansion. And again, that's conflict and battles and all that type of energy as well. We have the energy of Sophia coming up here, and the Fifi, F-I, or F-E, F-E, again, regarding the Phi energy. The Queen being clear and wise, and the icy bridge here. and dancing your way across an icy bridge. Like a sled dog would be really good at navigating ice because that's what they do, and they're very light on their feet. But that's like the dance between the masculine and feminine is like navigating an icy bridge. It can be very slippery at times and maybe not be able to ground at times, right? Because you can't dig your feet in. Bridging to the left, the divine feminine, and that way, perhaps after death or dealing with radiology or radiation, to tread or step with the Three of Pentacles co-creating, Two of Woe, healing to the nth degree, again, fizzy with calories and being active and being grateful. I having gratitude, or I thank you. The wolf pack comes up here, or the pair perhaps. There could be dogs or wolves, but it's that pack that may be, kind of out of control. The wolf pack without Ra or without Re, right? Without that sense of God or source. The wise eight dance between the masculine and feminine, or queen's clearing of the ice or bridging left to the feminine or side to side. A traditional gathering to co-create or work. Two of to be or not and go home. Health and physical activity. So woe is coming up here. Of course, woe can be sadness and depression, but it also is the call to the hawk or the horse. Whoa. And it means high, tall, village, she, a wall, to go home, thou, you, and to be. It means they, then, where, when, how, which, who. It's kind of like everything, right, together. When you try to think of too many things at once, of course you're going to be in woe because you get overwhelmed. Sophia's enemy here is the icy queen, strong, rad empress of crystals, the high priestess of the village with health and physical activity. So again, the energy of the ice and being icy and cold, right? Because the feminine's natural energy is the cold as opposed to the masculine's of the hot. And how to navigate being icy and slippery and a slippery slope. Very hard to navigate hills on the ice, right? So Sophia's enemy is the iciness of the queen. The strong, rad empress, right? That's like an empress is really all that and popular, but of crystals, which has to do with time, money, and effort. And the high priestess as well of the village, like she's the be all end all. There is no one else to go to except for her. It's overwhelming to be the only one person who can do all of that for everybody else. So the pack or the pair or the unruly group without Ra, without that source connection. The wise eight coming up here of the dance between the masculine and feminine, or the clearing of the bridge height in a journey to work or ride and liking it. And it was very interesting because the definition here of Rad was coming up with you plus 33 AD, which is literally you and Christ after death. A pair with issues calling the eagle or hawk and or the horse, which is Mr. Ed, right? And the eagle has landed, right? The messenger of God. So it's like, and then Mercury was just coming up. So they're referencing the hawk and the eagle as Mercury energies from God, the messengers of God, or too high up, right? You know, like Gabriel and Michael and Metatron calling to go home. And I'm getting, again, Rocky Horror Picture Show. Health and physical activity. It's so important to keep your body healthy, but also your mind and spirit and your soul, your emotions. So laziness and idleness is coming up here, to kill time, which is the word HEA, to hang around, good, hey, he, and a time to be idle, and hang around in sequence, though, regarding health. Again, fizzies have calories, so you must be active and grateful as well. The Sophia lightning electricity play. Getting scared, or she may be scary at times, right? She might come off as cold with clear ice So when she is, to clear the ice and tread lightly. When 3 are purging and 2 are depressed or grieving, you need to be more light and not so heavy-handed there. We have 8 rad or 8 gray, or the 33 after death, which is the Christ vibration, rising and glowing and radiating. Sophia playing the queen, clearly rad, taking the high road in energetic exchange with the Empress of Unity Consciousness being Christ-like, and the High Priestess of Woe, which is part of man, woe and man. So she is both, right? She's that Empress boss, but she's also the High Priestess of the woe side of man. She understands that compassion. That was a very interesting play. And by the way, at 7:07 it was lightning outside, at 7:08 thunder, and 7:09 the rain came. At 7:55, which is the Ace of Swords, again, Excalibur, the whole truth, and the 7 of the Chariot, the feminine within the masculine, the vehicle of ascension. The Queen of Wands reversed, and below that was the 10 of Swords upright, the 7 of Wands reversed, the 3 of Swords upright, and the 4 of Pentacles reversed, and the 10 of Wands upright, below the Queen of Wands reversed. So a painful ending here, or betrayal, or ending pain. Defenseless to the energies or attacks, feeling ganged up on in separation and heartbreak, and letting go to fix and make amends. Perhaps with Atlas, burden, weight, and world. The Queen of Wands being given a choice in being dumped or dumped on, or after, I just was getting a few good men, or after pushed to their limit, purging, vomiting, or sweating it out, perhaps with a trainer. The Hermit with light, looking back without excuse, unable to sleep and rising above, or awake and coming out and detoxing the worst of it. And then I was getting Daydream Believer and the Homecoming Queen. The Devil reversed and the Hermit upright, which is Capricorn reversed and Virgo upright. Taking a look at the Page of Cups reversed, perhaps Pisces, reaping rewards of release and stepping it up and spreading the word. Awake or not sleeping, in need of peace with the 2 of Cups connection. Shoes on in bed and ready to go, in need of a peaceful place to awaken. To take the boat out of the water with a safe place to put it and be with their soulmate here. Letting go to fix and mend, the Knight of Cups offering love to make up to the Queen of Cups after a falling out, or after children got between them, or going to look at a country house by the water in the mountains where the heat is on, to find just the right place and take care of the garden and flowers later now that it's off season. You deserve love comes up here with give your relationship a chance. The world is complete, dream girl, romantic tie from the past, under the radar, the Queen of Swords reversed, and again that's that cold energy, in a losing battle. No longer putting it out there, no longer cold, no longer spying, lying, or tiptoeing around at night with pin cushion, candle, and bell, no longer stepping all over honey bunny and dove, smoke and mirrors, Virgo upright, Capricorn reversed, and the Page of Cups reversed with the Page of Swords upright, the Knight of Cups upright, and the Queen of Cups upright. The youngest stepping it up now, because everybody else is already upright. The Page of Cups is stepping it up, which may be Pisces energy. And then Abundance with 88, the dance of the 2 twins, both dancing already between their own masculine and feminine. And beneath that, the 27 of spiritual partnership, that Ace of Wands, that flame, that passion. Dropping the act, I was just getting Sister Act, no more dance, removing the mask and breaking patterns. Satisfaction, getting their wish, working to align with patience and truth of the pursuit of happiness and release, in need of courage, strength, and good health. At 8:36, the dance and the Atlas, the weight of the world upon your shoulders, in the foot release or foot loose. So dancing is coming up as a good exercise. Foot release and mice and butterflies around the log, playing and watching, releases their anxiety, but also weakens them. So they're talking about athletics here, because they don't know how to do it within. So again, working out to release your stress is fine, but you're still not learning how to do it without exercise, how to release it from within, which is that knowing and faith. So if you don't build up the knowing and faith, it's never going to be there, right? So you're just going to always rely on exercise to release stress. But what's the cause of the stress in the first place? It's not working on that when you release it through exercise. So it's saying foot release and mice and butterflies around the log. Playing and watching releases their anxiety, but also weakens them at the same time because they don't know how to do it themselves within. Sagittarius upright and Leo reversed comes up here. And I wanted to bring up the fact too that even stretching exercises, like when I do clearing with Chris Macklin in the morning, I usually do it in the morning when I first wake up. As I'm doing the clearing during the hour, there will come times where I start yawning and I need to stretch. My body's literally telling me which way to stretch. Like I'll push against the wall above my head, or I'll do really weird, like angled stretches, but I don't need to think about it. It's just all of a sudden I'll yawn and my body wants to release something and it tells me which way to stretch. So by doing clearing, sorry, my elbow's slipping on the couch here. By doing clearing on yourself, your body will automatically tell you where you need release. And it may guide you to like massage a certain point on your body, right? Or do resistance training on a certain limb that may be off from the other. And resistance, like, you know, when you're laying on your back and you have your knees up, have someone lean on each knee and resist against that, you know, to see how your hips are doing. Are they aligned? Maybe you need a little bit of resistance there. And that could be done with a straight leg as well, you know, pushing down on someone's hand, or even with your legs out in like in lotus pose. And people don't usually instruct you on that, because I was just getting that downloaded this morning, to sit in lotus pose and have someone give you resistance on your inner leg, to push up on their inner leg as they hold your leg down in that, you know, cross-legged position, or just putting your feet, you know, flat together. So that was coming up. So I just wanted to put that out there. Feeling weak or unhealthy, the Queen of Wands, or the Queen of Wands just with Leo in their chart, or with kids or pets out of control, with the Queen of Wands upright in partnership with the Queen of Cups, both upright here, but the Queen of Cups no longer spying or causing distractions after tripping up. So again, when you do something wrong, it's like someone trying to cover up for themselves instead of just being honest and coming out and being forthright about it. Destined to come clean and to ask for forgiveness, dumped or overwhelmed in deception with sudden events, epiphanies, or sexual exchange. At 8:45, the dance and the grief. That can be guilt and shame as well, right? The walk of shame came up recently. And the uncomfortable emotions of karmic retribution or instant karma now, in ending conflict and losing battle, going down with the ship. The two of, again, this is that wound of the captain needing to go down with the ship, which is not correct, right? You're supposed to love yourself first. It doesn't mean to screw other people over. It's just saying don't give all of your power and all of your love to everyone else and not to yourself. Just like on the plane, you give the oxygen to yourself first, and then you care for your children, because what good are you to them if you're dead? The Two of Swords is upright, knowing and clear. The Sovereign is upright, and there's the energy of starting over here, with issues at work and defenseless to the energies of being overworked and not working out at 8:49. So again, you're either not working out, and so you feel in a slump because you're not clearing energetically with your intention, but you need to do both, right? And then you won't need to work out as much because you're already doing that part of that workout with your intention, your spiritual cleansing. The recent past is the Knight of Wands upright, the Lovers unbalanced with the Ten of Pentacles reversed, family, business, or community, or the world, right? Because that could be the dream world, but it's reversed here. So some kind of dysfunction or loss, or a misuse of money, time, or energy, or overspending to heal and dream. Again, the retail therapy coming up today. To dream, or the dream girl who choked and needing to swallow their pride to reap rewards. The Page of Pentacles injustice of pain or betrayal and bleeding out with the Queen of Cups, letting go to make repairs. Or Libra reversed between the Page of Pentacles upright and the Queen of Cups upright. Or the Knight of Wands and the Queen of Cups with unbalanced family between them, with Aquarius who spoke too soon or blowhard or sold an instrument to save for the Page of Pentacles' schooling, After the quartz bled them dry, all air signs are represented right here with the Knight of Wands, Queen of Cups, and the Page of Pentacles. The foundation here is the Eight of Wands reversed, which is not expressing your true feelings, holding back, causing delays, a heated debate or exchange, not telling and causing delays. The High Priestess knowing, and the Page of Wands inspired, but the world is still unstable, or Pisces or Divine Feminine is moving or visiting, or all three here are moving at the same time, to different places perhaps. The central energy here is the Five of Wands reversed, running away, lying, cheating, stealing, under the radar, or from failure, running away from failure, overworked or not working out, in downturn or retro and or twist of fate, suffering in silence or dealing with sister or unable to sleep, which is funny that always comes up. My sister has trouble sleeping. The challenge being the Three of Pentacles reversed with issues at work, getting over loss, regret, guilt, and shame of receiving time, money, and effort, or offer to be free from a breakdown, break up, break in, out, or through, or freedom from past warpath and being broke, or dependent on a car. Some may be giving up their cars for a bike or to walk, or just some other kind of natural energy vehicle. The energy of ending emotional cycles of unhappiness here with the Queen of Wands reversed, and I just whistled there, so she may be hot, but if she's reversed, she's either extremely tired or sick or injured, if she's ill or something like that. But if she's not, she's not someone you want to deal with. She's either got a really bad temper or she's off her rocker, like crazy. She could be jealous. She could beat people up. The Queen of Wands can be a physically abusive person. And the Queen of Pentacles is coming up as ending conflict with Patient, Angel, or Sagittarius. Cancer reversed, Aries upright, and Sag upright here, Libra reversed. The new moon, deception, or up before dawn, which is no fantasy life without love here, and Dream Girl, Queen of Pentacles reunion with Patient, Angel, or Sag in a split, or who had lied to the Fool, leaving the King of Cups behind. He receiving offers from the past or had received offers in the past. It's like the Fool or an Aries person is ditching the King of Cups. It could be the King of Cups freeing himself as well. And this was at 9:07 where it was pouring outside. 9 is the Hermit, 7 is the Chariot. The now moment here is the Two of Cups upright. And the Two of Cups upright came up really powerfully in the message of the day as well. This one-on-one major connection, receiving the Ace of Wands, that new passion, the flame, offers of sex, growth, and creativity from a hierophant, a marriage, religion, or establishment, or society in general, in need of good health. So wanting you to give them that good health, strength, or this could be someone out of control, dealing with kids and pets who are out of control. So either, it's like the energy of everyone outside of you expecting too much of you. So the out of control kids or pets, or the out of control people around you who expect you to heal them, with nothing in return. It's kind of that energy of not loving yourself first. The Page of Swords upright, entitled to peace, away from the Knight of Swords reversed, verbal and physical abuse, or kids or partner out of control. The Emperor reversed is not happy with their partner, or partner is unhappy with him, or couple caring for the sick, or an injured parent. But Aries reversed and Taurus upright don't see things the same way. Cancer and Aries and Leo reversed here, but Taurus is upright. The Fool free from family deception of the Ten of Pentacles reversed and the Ten of Cups reversed, so both families. And for me, the Ten of Cups and the Ten of Pentacles can represent, the family on the lower level and then the world family, but it also can represent the Montagues and the Capulets, but it also can represent your immediate family and your extended family. So it can represent all sorts of different combinations there. But one is about time, money, and effort being their main focus, and the other one's about emotional life being their main focus. But they're both reversed here. The Fool being free from family deception of both the Ten of Pentacles reversed and the Ten of Cups reversed, from one to the other. It's like one running from one negative thing to the other negative thing, just in a different way. But that might be good because then they end up clearing the wounds from each of those perspectives. The Sovereign is upright here, starting over, with the Knight of Pentacles upright offering help to the Knight of Swords reversed in a heated exchange, perhaps at work, with the Emperor reversed in separation or heartbreak or disappointment in a split, pushing Scrooge out of bed when they won't wake up. There's definitely some disharmony at work here and amongst the family. With the Two of Cups lovebirds here at 917, the Hermit and the Star, which is also healing and dreams coming true, hope and dreams, and shining your light. The Two of Cups lovebirds with the Page of Pentacles hurting themselves, the Page of Swords stepping it up to heal their pain, one sword out at a time, ready to defend the Page of Pentacles' honor, prepared with lots of ammunition. So again, this is the Page of Swords and the Page of Pentacles. They're both upright here, but the Page of Pentacles is that perfect student who's probably hurting themselves in private to be perfect. And the Page of Swords seems to be stepping it up to protect them. The King of Swords reversed may be there for backup, or the King of Swords may be a pain in the ass here. They could be very detached or verbally abusive, causing the Page of Pentacles great pain. The Page of Pentacles may be free from the King of Cups here, who's been receiving passionate offers from the past or in the past. And soon as the Six of Pentacles reversed, the inequity, the scam, the not sharing, suddenly in debt, seeing synchronicities or heaven in their eyes, or somebody's shopping and everything they see looks good, so they want to buy everything. So retail therapy again is coming up here, and hanging out or hanging five with the King of Cups upright, with the Wounded Warrior deceived in injustice and a heated exchange, with the Hierophant after death, with the Ten of Pentacles reversed, family, business, or community, dysfunction or loss. So it could be a family member loss, but that may be held over the King of Cups' head for some reason. The Twin Flames seeing themselves as the Tower upright of suffering and silence, or perhaps a sister, or just purging and headaches, or not being able to sleep at night, ending the nightmares, with the Knight of Wands to rescue after death and no place, or near death and no peace, knowing and keeping quiet, to manifest an offer of a new life to the Queen of Swords reversed, who's been working too hard, slaving so that the Knight of Wands can play. So again, that can be that mother-son relationship too, of allowing too much from your children. So this can go both ways, from the father to the daughter and the mother to the son. Because that's how we learn the opposite energy, right? Because the feminine's born with the pink energy, needing to learn the green from the son or the husband, and vice versa. The son being born with the green, needing to learn the pink feminine compassion from the sister or the mother. So the Knight of Wands, so it's this energy of the mother doing everything so that the son, the Knight of Wands, can play, but that can be a partner, right? Where the masculine, if that was the dynamic of your relationship at home, that could be something you brought into your relationship, even though it's supposed to be a parent-child relationship. That ends up being your actual dynamic in your adult relationship. Letting go of control very soon, and true love. This is a romance of a lifetime. With Scorpio, very heavy, significant here, both upright and reversed. Capricorn upright and Cancer reversed, who are on the same axis here. Capricorn's the father energy of restriction. Cancer's the mother energy reversed here of restriction, right? She's overprotective, and Capricorn is too restrictive. And that's fear-based parenting, which is not what we're going to. We're changing that perspective. What came up the other day was that the fire signs are the natural fathers because they love to play with their children and inspire them. And the earth signs were coming up as the natural mothers, right? Because they're very grounded and like to be nurturing. The cups energy were coming up as the divine feminine. The swords energy was coming up as the divine masculine. So that it's not just the father, the mother, father, and the son. There's daughters here too. It's the square of the diamonds, the two triangles. One with the masculine child, one with the feminine child here. Okay, so that's how it was coming out the other day. We have Cancer reversed, Libra reversed, Taurus upright, Sag upright, Gemini or Virgo upright here as well. Around the twins is the reflection energy of the Hermit or Virgo. And we're in Virgo energy now, of the King of Wands reversed and the Page of Wands reversed. Uncomfortable in the energies or emotions with the Page of Pentacles upright, that perfect student or opportunity, that can be an invitation as well. Released perhaps from jail or their own anxieties or their own agenda, and being over the King of Wands reversed and the Page of Cups reversed, who are obviously negative energies. The King of Wands reversed can be sick and tired, but he also can be physically abusive and, a mean person. And the Page of Cups can be a spoiled brat, really entitled child that you don't want to be around. But the Page of Cups can also be vulnerable and shy, a baby who's crying. So again, they could be both ends of the extremities, the polarities. And there's Virgo upright here. The King of Wands reversed, the Page of Cups reversed, and the Page of Pentacles upright, releasing their prisoner or being released by their prisoner or hostage. The block here being the Two of Swords. And again, the hostage can be their own inner child too. The block here being the Two of Swords and floating on air. Knowing and exposing all in the sun. Kids, pets, Leo, energized, even when around adults fighting and trying to take it out on them. So these are children who naturally don't feed into their parents' drama. It's like, okay, whatever, which is really funny because my daughter used to do that to me when she was little. If she was late, she wouldn't get dressed, and she was so funny. She'd just come out and just stare at me, and I'd be like, Jenna, like, we have to walk out the door right now. And she'd just stare at me like I was crazy. That's the same energy that's coming up here in the read right now, that the kids are not allowing you to affect their peace and happiness, that they'll do things their own way in their own time. Again, even when the adults are around fighting and trying to take it out on the children aren't allowing them to do that. So here the parents are needing to learn from the children, actually, regarding health, physical activity, and the love partnership. In a new passion with the Knight of Pentacles, offering something healthy or a new opportunity in healthcare or fitness. And again, this is changing the perspective of people who come to healthcare or fitness classes, that it's not all about working harder and harder and harder and pushing. You need to clear your emotional and spiritual energies and use your intention to work out the kinks so you don't have to work out so hard. Recovering from loss, regret, and the Page of Pentacles from the King of Cups always getting hit on in the past. Satisfaction with self and the King of Pentacles upright, socializing or in reunion with the Page of Pentacles and or an Aries. The Page of Wands may be inspired by the King of Swords reversed, getting over it without an excuse, being up early and being patient with injustice and the imbalance of karma or an Aquarius or poor judgment here. Libra and Aquarius are both reversed here with Cancer, but Sagittarius is upright with the Empress, who may be the mother, or Taurus, or abundance on top at the end of the read, right? So the Empress comes out on top overall here. The mother energy, the Gaia energy, the earth energy, right? Mother Earth. That's why the earth signs are coming up as the natural mother, because they're naturally very grounded and nurturing. They're just that picture of the mother sitting there, allowing the child to hop in their lap, but hop out again and not get emotional about it. It's very interesting the way that comes up. The Queen of Wands in a heated exchange, and the towering Inferno with the Hermit or Scorpio and Virgo, with the Knight of Wands with Leo reversed, or Pet in a losing battle, challenged by issues at work of not sharing, inequity, scams, and debt, knowing and keeping to themselves with the Two of Cups, partner, and getting over it, with the Page of Wands and wearing masks, deception of patience, unfair and judgmental, not heeding the call, or someone holding back an announcement. The Queen of Wands and Knight of Wands need courage with delays in ending conflict with the Two of Cups connection. Perhaps of a partner or partners. These could be two partners as well. And then the Queen of Wands and Knight of Wands definitely could be siblings. That could also be the same person. The Knight of Wands may be the Queen of Wands' action at 9:43, which is the Hermit and the Three of Cups of coming together in reunion, which is upright in this read. There's some kind of sudden event, epiphany, or sexual exchange here. In inequity with the Hermit, reflecting, knowing, and keeping to themselves to get over it, with the Page of Wands masked boy or idol, again that energy of mother and child and idling your children, deceiving the patient angel with injustice of having not called or not calling or not saying a word. at 9:46, which is the Hermit, and the Six of Cups of the two children hugging each other. So let's see what comes up with the Oracle cards. And again, we had the dice were the Sun, which a lot about children were coming up there. And the Two of the High Priestess and the feminine energy, which also came up a lot in the read. And then Capricorn as the restrictive father. And I know them both well. I have a lot of Capricorn. My moon and my Jupiter and Capricorn, my Jupiter and Saturn are conjuncting in Capricorn, as well as my moon. And I have Cancer rising, so I have all that in there. If I look at it that way too, it's kind of interesting because my Venus is fire because Leo, and my and I'm Earth sign, so I have lots of Earth in my chart. So we all have those different qualities in different combinations. So maybe my heart is very father oriented because it's Leo, but my overall demeanor is very much of the mother because I have a lot of Earth in my chart. But I also have air, because I have Libra, Mercury, and Mars, which has to do with the divine masculine. And then my divine feminine would be the Cups energy, which is my Cancer rising. I really don't have a lot of water. I do have Scorpio is my Neptune. But it is my rising sign, which is very significant. So maybe I come off a lot more emotional than I actually am. All right, but also Capricorn can be very emotional in your moon house. Sorry, I'm just sorting out cards right now. I kind of am babbling on, but there's usually reason for babble. There may be some messages coming through for you that you needed to hear. All right, just give me 1 second. And we're going to pull from the animal deck, and we'll pull from the Journey of Love. Okay, so we're just over an hour now. It was just 11:11 as I was talking to you. So that definitely was a significant message there. I don't know what you're going to take away from it, but there you have it. All right, so from the Animal Spirit deck, take a deep breath. What is our takeaway from the read today? And we talked about this card already. The cheetah came up in the message of the day. And see how the cheetah is ready to pounce, but there's a couple different messages coming through here. They're either a target, right? Like someone's putting a target on them to shoot them before they hurt somebody. This is also someone who's ready to leap, but they're like hypnotized. They can't help themselves. Or they're paralyzed by their passions and they actually can't move. They're paralyzed. And then we have the bunny too. So all of the fears coming up here. These are two of the big fear cards here. The bunny's always scared of everything, right? They don't even give you a chance. They run away before they even can feel your energies. And you notice both of them have their ears straight up. It's like being on red alert, like the tornado warnings last night. And then here we have the oyster who's hiding. They're in fear too, but they're hiding. They're not afraid anymore because they got this shell around them. They're in a safe place. But again, these are very much fear cards, right? All of them. Because look what's around them. But they're in fear too, right? The hyena is someone who makes fun of people at their own expense, at the expense of the other people, right? Because they have insecurities about themselves. There's no color in this picture. So again, this is all about the fear energies and the shadow sides coming up, right? Even of the camel and the spider coming up here, right? They're in dark energies. They're in the rain. There may be depression here. So maybe if you see this person as having no issues because they're independent, right? The camel has everything they need. They have water, they have a ride, they're good with themselves. They have a blue moon here, so they tend to be on the side of depression here a little bit with all that rain. And the same with the spider. They have the whole rainbow here. And, you know, he's solid. He's got his territory. He's he's at center point. Except, right, everyone has something that they're working on. He's still got like all that dark energy around them, even though he's in this rainbow web. And this could be working in 4D, which is very traumatic and difficult to navigate through, even if you're staying at 0 point. So how's he going to go out and feed himself if he leaves 0 point? He's got to leave 0 point at some point to go feed himself. But he's afraid to, because he's afraid to be off balance, right? So everyone has an issue to deal with here. And that's what they're bringing up. It's not just one person, right? And then we have these three coming up together. The bottom of the deck is the fox, by the way. The sly fox, right? But in this deck, he's a very good partner. He's keeping his light to himself. He's being smart about it. He's going to be like... It's interesting too because, right, the fox may be around, so the turtle is like telling them to go away, leave me alone. I'm going at my own pace. I'm depressed. And here's the earth where I'm just keeping the energy inside so nobody can get to it, just playing like they don't know what's going on. Like, so no, everyone will think they're not really there and they won't notice all that energy inside of them when the fox is around. But the fox is too smart for that. So that, like you can't deceive the fox. You have to be honest about everything. That can be about our deceptions to ourselves too. Thinking that you're being honest when you're saying certain things to another person when you're not, because you're deceiving yourself. You're not saying your actual truth. So it's really important to be fully, even more fully in your truth about your fears and your depressions and what you're scared of, even the fox. All right, so here we have the dragon, the nightingale, and the vulture. Very different energies. The dragon's supposed to be your inner higher self, basically, always keeping an eye on you. And then here we have the nightingale, clearing all the energies with their song or their voice, being very pure while the world is awakening. And then here's the vulture just waiting, standing by to clean up the mess. All right, not saying a word. But you notice the vulture has a lot of magenta energy radiating around them. They have their purpose in all this. I mean, even if you see the dragon as a negative energy, it's that negative energy on, these two trapping, this is the hostage in the middle. And yet you can choose not to be the hostage. It's like the person who was put in jail who finds their freedom anyway, because they just have to look inside themselves, be happy with themselves. So if you learn to be happy with yourselves when you're not in jail, then you can be happy anywhere. That's the whole point. So let's see what the journey of love has to say. So it's not the sly fox. It's not going to work to be the sly fox because you can't get away with being secretive and sneaky. You have to say your full truth. So even though the fox is smart and may get all the fears of the other people, they're not getting their own issue, which is being sneaky because it's lying, right? Being the sly one in his case means keeping secrets or feeling smarter than other people. So feeling better than other people. It's kind of an elitism type thing. So everybody has their thing to work on. They just may be all different things, which is why we interact with each other, to be able to see those different things. So let's see what the journey of love says for us. And these two came up together. Dream a Little's 51 of the King of Swords on the feminine side. And then here's the light field of that rough energy coming in, of the tornadoes and the storms and being left out in the middle of the 4D bridge with no protection here. 63 is the suffering and silence, the 9 of Swords, the nightmare. Right? You're in the midst of it and there's no way out. That's the 9 of Swords card. It's like it's the worst card in the deck because you're in the pain and you still have the 10 of Swords to go before you're out. So there's no light at the end of the tunnel quite yet. You just have to take it. So dream a little in the light field. So it's saying it's like having a cramp. Or stretching exercises. You know when you stretch and it really hurts and you have to pull your leg back because you feel like it's going to cramp? How about if you have trust that that cramp will dissipate on its own without changing the position of your leg? That's the energy of this. Having faith that this storm will pass and you don't need to do a thing. You just have the faith that it will pass, and it will. So try that out. If you get I'm not saying like a foot cramp that's killing you and you're going to die if you don't get rid of the pain. But if you have like a minor cramp or something that normally you'd move your leg, don't move your leg. Have faith that it will dissipate and see what happens. Don't hurt yourself, but you know what I mean. Because sometimes we think we can't handle the pain, but actually you can, because all things do pass. And there's this matching energy of the purples here. Her purple's going into the purple here. The connection of the third eye, the knowingness. Dream a little, allow the light in. And that's the King of Swords, allowing his feminine side in. Right? The nightmare doesn't have to be a nightmare. It's the way you perceive it. And this card's coming up too. The Guardian of Soul Family, 26, is the Page of Wands. And again, here's that mother, father, and child in the vortex. Right? That all's well that ends well. That this is the 4D. So here's the 3D where you need to dream a little and put the power here in your heart. The 51 of the King of Swords needs to go to his feminine side, dream a little. The 4D here of weathering the storm, being in the middle of the 4D bridge with no protection, or it feels like that anyway, and a lot of turbulent energies. But then we get to the end at the vortex, and there's the happy family there in the vortex. The beginning, the middle, and the end, the 3D, 4D, 5D. And then the bottom of the deck is same type of color energy, which is across the waters. 23 is the King of Wands, which was missing in the beginning of the read. So we have the King of Wands in the underlying energy, the Page of Wands here, along with the King of Swords and the 9 of Swords, who's suffering in silence. So it's like a father and son energy here, or the father and the inner child. And then here's that cold father energy of the King of Swords, being called to dream and go into his feminine, to go through the 4D bridge, to not be afraid to weather the storm, because the end result will be worth it, right? All's well that ends well. Look at that, the void. The 40 of the Page of Cups, the innocence of the child, the purity and beauty of it, the beauty of it all, that you become one with the vortex. And it's so peaceful and calm. And there's the mother popping in of the devil as the mother prays. Right? And again, this is coming up as the mother praises the son. And there's nothing wrong with that, but not in a codependent relationship here. Right? That's the shadow side, the 15. This is preying on the innocent, the mother preying on the innocent. So when they're a baby, this is correct. The mother's supposed to fully take care of the baby. But as they become a grown man, that's no longer the case. They're supposed to be independent with love, which gives freedom. It doesn't have expectation or guilt. So those are the energies coming up. The relationships between the mother and son, the father and the daughter, or the adults and their inner child or their children. So it doesn't have to be from one sex to the other, but that was significantly coming up in the read. All right, so the cheetah, we're going to read that to you, which of course is fire. Cheetah came right to it. Solar force action, achievement, and masculine energy. The cheetah is the epitome of the solar forces at work. The sun doesn't shine onto the cheetah, it shines from inside this great creature and expands outward to brighten the universe. The energy within the cheetah personality is palpable to others, and they naturally attract an audience to bear witness to their remarkable achievements. Purpose and passion are the best fuel for a cheetah's forward momentum. So if you're lacking in those areas, reconnect to the why before you start running. Okay, so and again, that was talking about the workout. That if you need to work so hard because you haven't done the work on your emotions and your spiritual self. So it's saying The cheetah's forward momentum, if you're lacking in those areas, reconnect to the why you are before you start running or working out. So when in balance, they achieve anything. Boundless energy, which is interesting. My daughter has boundless on her. She has a tattoo, boundless. So boundless energy, when they're out of balance, they're impatient and competitive. To bring them back into balance, they need to reconnect to their purpose. So that should be the place where we all start from. What you love, what you resonate with, what you connect with. Because if you do that every day, then you'll always be happy. And our parents always, well, not everyone, some parents are telling you to do things for money. And then when you parents who do tell you to do what makes you happy every day, because then you'll never be unhappy, you don't believe them. So it's, again, all about faith and patience. So from the journey of love, we had, the first card was Dream a Little, the 51. The divine wants to bless you with inspiration, just as a lover would come to the door of the beloved with a spontaneous gift of flowers. So dream a little, let your imagination wander and wonder. What if? What else could be? Breaking down the rigid walls of expectation. Just because something has been does not indicate that it must continue in the same way. So dream a little and receive your spiritual gift. This oracle brings you guidance. A spiritual gift of inspiration is on its way or has just recently been received. It isn't flight of fancy, it's a gift from the divine. Receive it and believe in new possibilities. From unexpected meetings, we talked and shared our lifetime, a gentle, peaceful, quiet time, reflected in our smile. We winged our way to distant places and walked along remembered faces of lives we knew we lived some time before. And like a bud about to flower, having reached its appointed hour, we watch ourselves begin to open in the warm touch of spring. And breathe. Remember your water, your sleep, your joy, and your nature. And do it your own way. It was just 11701. Rise and be loved, guys. I'll see you soon. Have an amazing day. Bye.